Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Wednesday, the 23rd of October, 2024, and the time right now about 6:40 p.m. Don't mind telling you the time every now and then there. Obviously, the markets are all closed, and it was a really red day in stock indices. They got hit. So many of the markets got hit today. It was a profit-taking day. I don't know that it's a change of trend day, but it was certainly, if I step back here, a profit-taking day. The SCHW, it's one of Schwab's indices, was up today, but that's pretty much it. It's a sea of red. Now, we saw that we're getting a lot of companies reporting from Coca-Cola. Tesla reported after the close. They're going to deliver more cars. So that's a beat. In terms of earnings per share, they beat not the revenue, but earnings per share, and the stock took off to the upside. But you're going to get that all week long. As I tried to point out, 20% of the S&P 500 companies are right now. So every day this week is a very, very important day that you're getting them. Sometimes they beat and they go down anyways. It depends what the market wants. And you know, this is all pre-election market now. So once every 4 years, you get this crazy action that you got to pay attention to, and you must pay attention to it. Now, when we take a look at what's coming up for tomorrow, we start off with jobless claims in the morning. Federal Reserve's going to come out with the National Activity Index at 7:30. Then we get the October S&P Global Group manufacturing and service sector PMIs, and those will be looked at rather hard. We did have the Fed Beige Book today, and no real changes. Everybody's saying pretty much the same. The election's on everybody's mind. The debt that the U.S. has is keeping interest rates high. Corporations don't know if they should go out and hire right now in many of the areas. Not all. Some of them are going, no, we got to pay up for wages, with most saying, no, that's not the case, we have to do. Depends where you're located, what your business is, and that's always what the Beige Book shows us, the differences of the regions. Now, where do we go from here in these markets? That's the interesting thing. So I've been looking at the completion index of the DWPCF, which again is a big, broad index. It includes comprehensive companies from all sectors of the economy, giving you a view of the market. You're in a correction phase. You began it not today. You've been doing it for the past 3-4 days. The market, as you can see, still has the pattern of higher lows, higher highs. Guess what? I think that the boys today, the pros, stepped in and started nibbling on the long side at the 18-day average of closes. I think they'll bail if the market gets underneath 2144.03 and say, I'm too soon, let me take another look. Barring that, I think they're going to try to hold on and see if this can help them into the election process. The market absolutely spent 5 days at the Bollinger Band, and once it got away from it, the second day of it, it just let go. That is very common in this pattern. Patterns are so important. But more important than the pattern, and boy, this to me is so often the case, the way that I teach you to trade slow stochastics. My formula, open up your slow stochastics. Yours will not match mine. I teach you my formula, and it is not, you're going to change from let's assume a 14 period to a 20 or a 21. It's not what it is. It's inside the formula that I make the change, and I teach you how to do it. But when this happens and you lose that like you did, you heard me say yesterday, the odds are very strong you're going to go back to the 18-day average before you rally. To me, that's worth everything. Gives me an idea what I think the marketplace should do. And I use this, when I say all the time, I really want to tell you, all the time. I'm forever looking at it. You fell down to that number today, and that's about all that I'm looking for. That doesn't mean it can't go lower. But if you were looking for the correction, I'm where it wanted to be. Now, you're overbought. Overbought markets don't just re-embed. That doesn't typically happen. And the fact that both numbers closed over 80, it would take an event I've not seen. It could happen where the market would have to be up dramatically and they both re-embed. But you'd probably have to go up something like 90, 80 points. I'm guessing on that. I just haven't seen that happen. When I look at Qualcomm, well, Qualcomm today had ARM come out and say, boys, we've negotiated with you now for 2 years. You haven't done anything. We're canceling our license with you. So immediately what happens is both companies go down in value. Immediately, because 11% of ARM's revenue comes from Qualcomm. So this is what you need to get everybody to reach a deal. Believe me, that's how deals happen. You got to get to the point where somebody says, enough. We've tried, you're not making progress. I would look for the Bollinger Band to be the first attempt at support, but this has a little bit of time that it can run. It's like the Boeing situation where they're voting tonight. I don't know how the vote's going to go. So we'll find out. You could wake up in the morning and things, Boeing could be up or it could be down depending on that. It's got ways that it's got to play with itself. But this is the same thing. So now they need that license to make these chips. So let's see where this goes. In CrowdStrike, I told you I thought we'd fall back to the 18-day average. I think I've said it every day for a week that I thought we had a shot at doing that. Now I'm interested, not to buy it yet. The pattern is still one of lower highs, lower lows, but now it's like this. I'm getting excited. I'm getting hungry. I want to come in on this market. I need a chart pattern. I've been waiting for that. Uranium, I just mentioned to you that I thought that the market could now make a run back to the 18-day average. You lost your bullish embedded reading. I think it's going to do that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think before you get over here, you'll easily get to that. You might even get into that 28 zone back and forth in there. But it's had a beautiful run to the upside. It needs to consolidate a bit of that. That's what I think's going on. Now, in K-Web, you can't get me excited about anything China yet. China needs to do something. And we could wake up one morning and all of a sudden they've done something big, all right? But they haven't done it yet. Do I think they're going to do it right now? No, because President Xi is where? He's in Russia dealing up with his good pal Putin as the two of them assure themselves that neither of them are lonely. They have plenty of friends in the world without the Western countries, and they do. They just don't happen to be the rich countries. In Toll Brothers, still staying down. Every day you're going to make higher interest rates. If that keeps going, what would make this bounce other than a bounce in a bear market? And wait till we hear tomorrow. We'll probably hear what the new mortgage rate settings are. It's going to be ugly. Let me share that with you ahead of time. I told you not to expect anything good out of the mortgage numbers today, and they weren't. All the index numbers were down. Housing starts were just where the estimates estimated, and I'm telling you, mortgage numbers are not going to be a pretty number. That'll keep down the pressure on the home builders as well here. Everything goes in these cycles. In XLF, now be ready. When you reopen, you're probably going to lose the embedded reading. If it comes like that and stays like that, where this number gets and closes under 79, not 79.66, the odds favor you're going to go back to the 18-day average to regroup. We'll see if that happens. You're regrouping with losing the embedded reading already at the 18 right here. No surprise. None of this is a surprise. Energy, I went too fast there. Remember we were talking, and I just yesterday said, you got down here, you held, you're still in that area. I see nothing that I want to do in the energy markets, nothing that I'm even telling my paid subscribers to do with me. Gold, silver, yeah, and especially in silver. The market came down. I could see it pulling back here a bit. Am I bullish? Absolutely. Do I want you to come in and buy? Absolutely. Am I going to tell you where here? No, I'm not. That's for my subscribers. Same in silver, but in silver, I'll share this. This morning on the opening, I was telling my traders, goodbye. Get out of your longs. Let the market back off a little bit. You never did embed. Maybe we can get more of a correction. Maybe. I'm not getting bearish, but it was time to cash in. Every now and then you get lucky, right? Even a broken clock is right twice a day. When we take a look at copper, well, you're getting down to areas of importance, but I have been consistent in saying without China doing more, this is the canary in the mine for them, and it's not good. Then we get down to the interest rate futures. Are they going to finish off and go to the lower band in the 200-day average is the question. They easily could. They don't have to. If they rally, I would think that resistance would be 73.67. In the dollar, it's been nonstop. Eventually, it's going to have a correction. When, where, why, I'm not even beginning to think. But going up like that, and that means the euro coming down, and maybe you go to the Bollinger Band. Goldman today said that if Trump wins the presidency, they can see the euro currency going down to about parity with the dollar. That'd be about another 8-9 points. That's quite a bit. So pay attention. A lot of stuff on the table. And one of the things on the table for you is our free offerings. Now, when you go to our IraEpstein.com free offers, it'll ask you when you complete everything to put in your name, your email address, so we can get everything out to you. It's pretty simple. But when you go there, by the way, you're going to see that I still have up my dollar report. It's going to go off. It's right now approaching 7 p.m., so it's got about 4 more hours, and then it's off. It'll be off tonight, Central Time, Wednesday, before midnight. You can see how this goes. You just select the offers that you want. The page has everything. If you want, there'll be, take your cursor, move it to the top of the page, and you'll see an icon. You can click it there. If you have questions, you can always call my staff. They'll work with you. And with that, I'm Ira Epstein, and I'll catch up with you first thing in the morning. Have a good evening.